Ladies and gents, welcome back. I was just in Calgary. I visited the Stampede, and I wasn't the only one to do that. I got a warm welcome, as well as many other Canadians that were coming in from other parts of the country to visit. There was one man who didn't get quite the warm welcome, and that was Justin Trudeau. Now, this video is going viral of him attempting to flip pancakes at the event and doing what he does often in Canada, failing miserably. Now, he didn't have much of a warm welcome, and even Pierre Poilievre decided he wanted to point this out in his speech when he received quite a warm welcome at the event. Bring it home, Calgary. At the Calgary Stampede, hundreds of common sense Canadians gather at the Calgary Stampede to bring home a Canada that works for the people that do the work. And this is part of the segment of the video. Of course, links in the description down below.
And I feel right at home here. I'm not sure that Mr. Trudeau felt at home here over the last few days, eh? He was going around town trying to find somebody who would support his 61 cent a liter carbon tax, and no one was buying in.
No, nobody was buying in. Now, I did feel quite at home, and interestingly enough, because I'm from British Columbia, I was raised in Ontario, but when I got there, what an amazing warm welcome I received. Now, Trudeau did get a welcome from the Premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith, but not such a warm one. They're trying to work out, negotiations because Alberta now has a premier that cares about Alberta and the things that are happening in Alberta. Smith meets with Trudeau, rejects these government's 2035 net zero target. This is an article from True North. Again, links in the description down below. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith informed Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that the province won't comply with his government's 2035 target for a net zero power grid. And it's so funny because, I mean, net zero, Canada is net negative. If you just look at the forests that suck up all the carbon in the atmosphere, we actually suck up more carbon than we do emit. But that's just me and my explanations. I don't know where everyone else is at. I've indicated that the Prime Minister, or to the Prime Minister, that is not possible by 2035, which is the federal target. We've told that to our experts here, Smith told reporters Friday afternoon, with Trudeau, who's in Calgary to attend the annual Stampede, seated next to her. We also know that the emissions cap, the emissions reduction, such as the proposed of 42% by 2030, but also results in the essentially a production cap, which I don't think is realistic or feasible as well. No, we're not going to reduce our production. Why would we do that? We need more industry. We don't need less, especially in a time with economic downturns. We're going to get to that in just a moment. I wanted to thank Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, says Danielle Smith on Twitter, for committing to form a bilateral working group with Alberta to find solutions, but we have a ways to go. Alberta has sovereign jurisdiction over our energy production. We cannot accept an unrealistic emissions caps. This is absolutely the case. Now, Trudeau has not been so good to the economy across all of Canada, and this is as news is breaking. This is from the Taxpayer Federation. Go check out this website. Again, links in the description. Turn off the hiring machine. Trudeau adds 98,000 bureaucrats to the payroll in his time as Prime Minister. The federal government has a habit it can't seem to break, hiring more bureaucrats. Since Prime Minister Justin Trudeau came to power in 2015, the feds have added more than 98,000 new bureaucrats to the government payroll. That trend, it shows no sign of slowing down, with 21,290 extra staff added just last year. Was there a bureaucrat shortage in Ottawa before Trudeau took over? Franco Terrazzano, federal director of the Canadian Taxpayer Federation, said, Canadians need a more efficient government, not a bloated government full of highly paid bureaucrats. And this is something that we've all noticed in the past several years when it came to couldn't not even being able to get a passport in this country for so many Canadians as restrictions were being lifted from the COVID era. and people just couldn't, the passport offices just could not keep up. And it's amazing that they couldn't because there was plenty of staff. There was plenty of people there available to do it. It's just, why is it that the more people we hire for government, the less effective they actually are at the things they're supposed to be providing services for? To put that in, so the federal government now employs 357,247 bureaucrats, according to the latest data from the Treasury Board of Canada's Secretariat, released in June 26th. To put that into perspective, there are now more than 98,000 extra government employees on the taxpayer dole than there was when Trudeau came to power. And they have a chart here of through the years since Trudeau came to office, how many federal bureaucrats there are. The government handed out 802,043 raises to those federal bureaucrats from 2020 through 2022, according to internal government records previously obtained by the Canadian Taxpayer Federation. Meanwhile, the feds paid out $1.3 billion in bonuses since 2015. This is just getting ridiculous. Even the National Post reporting on this, Trudeau government increased federal employees by 40% since election in 2015. How many new employees do you have at your company since Trudeau came to office? I'm willing to bet probably less for most companies out there. But we're not seeing this kind of growth in the private sector in Canada, but we are seeing quite the growth in the public sector, which is, of course, a cost to us all. Spending on the public service has also grown since 2019-2020 fiscal year, increasing by 32% more spending in this entire period. There is, again, Franco Terrazzano being quoted here. Was there a bureaucrat shortage in Ottawa before Trudeau took over? I wouldn't think so. No, not at all. Just over half of that spending was directly related to personnel, which increased from $46.3 billion to $60.7 billion over the same period. That is just an absurd number to see here. The same report states that public service growth over the past 2 years wasn't uniform, with departments such as Employment and Social Development Canada's Public Health Agency, and Canada Revenue Agency seeing sharp increases in full-time positions as a result of the pandemic. The CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, saw its ranks swell by 1,571 in 2020 and 2021, and 6,626 in 2021 and 2022. How many of those would you maybe wonder were the ones defrauding the CERB emergency benefit that is being investigated at the moment? 600 of those workers are being investigated for defrauding CERB at the moment, none of which have, some that have been fired, none of which have seen any criminal investigation. True North are also reporting on this, with Trudeau hiring nearly 100,000 new federal workers since being elected. Now, this is at a time where Canadians can't afford even what they've got at the moment. Financial Post is reporting here, Canadians reporting insolvency hits record high just before Bank of Canada expected to hike interest rates. Once again, third of people polled said that they can't cover their bills and debt payments already. This is where they are at the moment. But hey, you know, we saw this coming, right? We all saw this coming. Oh, I don't know. Maybe not even the Bank of Canada president, Maclem, saw this coming. This is him just a year ago.
Our message to Canadians is that interest rates are very low and they're going to be there for a long time.
Oh, are they?
We recognize that Canadian businesses are facing an unusual amount of uncertainty. And so we have been unusually clear about the future path for interest rates. If you've got a mortgage, or if you're considering to make a major purchase, or you're a business and you're considering making an investment, you can be confident that interest rates will be low for a long time. Our message to
interest rates will be low for a long time. We're now seeing interest rates that are putting people underwater in their payments. Only a year after this was said. But hey, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. And I hope everybody who was involved out in Calgary had a good time with the Stampede. I know I did. And I want to thank everybody there for the warm welcome. I want to thank everybody who came out to visit. Went to the comedy show at Yuck Yucks at the casino in downtown Calgary just on Sunday evening. To see Danger Cat's own Uncle Hack, and that was a great showing. We all got to hang out and do a meet and greet afterwards, so I want to thank everybody that came out for that, and I'll definitely let you know the next time one of those happens. If you're in the neighborhood, come on out and meet. But yes, awesome time in Calgary, not for everybody. Sorry, Trudeau, you didn't have the best time while you were there. Anyway, leave that one with you guys on this one. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation with the bureaucrats becoming, well, the government is our biggest employer at the moment, it would seem. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.